Here's why it's important. Here's why it's important to give people their flowers. All right. So I gave you a little context of like my relationship with my blackness, the black experience. I love being black. Like I told you, I leaned into it and I love it. All right. I remember telling kids, "Don't call me a dude. I'm a homeboy." At 7 years old, that was my expression. Right. But here's why the flowers are so important. I want you to think about, even who's here right now. Who's in front of you, behind you, flanked on both sides, like Nicole, this room. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have to meet none of these black folks to know they don't hear it often enough. They don't hear it often enough that they're valued. They don't hear it often enough that they're important. What they do hear is sometimes the silent judgment. Ooh, Michael was late? Uh-huh. Little facial expressions and whatnot. Not that the TTC sucks, but he was late because he was black. I'll give you one example. So a few years ago, I got on TV. Somebody asked me a question. It was Marcy Ian. Marcy Ian asked me, "How are you?" Simple question. I have been, maybe I can't. I'm gonna do it. Whatever, if I cry, I cry. It is what it is. So Marcy asked me, "How are you?" I said, Marcy, I could have responded to her with my 10 years of experience of being on air in front of the camera. I could have give her anything. It would have been safe, it would have been articulate, it would have been charming. And we went on to the next subject. But I didn't want to treat it as just another pleasantry. You asked me a question, I wanted to answer it. And that day is what I referenced at the beginning when I first walked in here was, that was the day I decided to unmute myself. That was the day I wasn't worried about how things looked, committed to how it felt, and I wanted to tell the truth. I told her how I felt. She said, "How are you?" I told her how I felt. I told her what I was struggling with. I told her why I was mad. Do you know how hard it is for me to navigate the spaces that I've been able to navigate over these years? As a 6'2", 200 and something pound black man with dreadlocks, and not fall into those stereotypes. I didn't want to be an angry black man. They already expected that. So in this moment, it was so funny that I was liberated by being that. I was being my truth. I am angry. In this moment, I am the angry black man. Hashtag angry black man. I am angry. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why because when I look to my left and I look to my right, I don't see the same rage. How are you not upset about what I'm seeing? We're all people. We're all humans. And I was just so tired of us dealing with our issues in silos. And I really, truly believe, until we treat all issues as our issues, we just pass the buck. It's a bad day for the LGBTQ community. It's a bad day for pay disparity. It's a bad day for black folks getting killed by cops. It's a bad day for this. But if we actually all, like I said, had that level of awareness and that commitment, that Bob Marley concept of one love, I think we could chip away at a lot of our social issues a lot faster and a lot more meaningful. A lot of that long-standing, those are the words that really get me excited. We want long-standing structural commitments. We want long-standing change. We don't want sweet talk. That ain't gonna do it. It's just not gonna do it. So it's the reason why I share this moment where I went on national television and I was angry and I cried. I broke all the rules. I cried. I was angry. I took over the segment. I don't even know if I let them talk. We definitely talked through the commercial break. Shout out to CTV covering that for me. Appreciate you. I know that was costly. Yeah, no, seriously, but these are the things, these are all the considerations that I've always had and which kept me quiet, kept me in line, kept me safe. And I was so scared when it was all said and done. I let it all out, but I was scared. I was scared because, listen, I literally had called some people out in the hopes of calling them in, of course, but I had called them out. And I had cried, and I didn't know how that would be received in my community and in society. And I complained. Lord knows, I should be complaining on national television. But for weeks, my phone did not stop ringing. Like my phone, when I tell you my phone did not stop ringing, I'm talking pastors, gangsters. Yeah, that's for real. I'm just keeping it. Hey, listen, I told you I'm talking to you like my brothers and my sisters. I even had a guy who swore he would never talk to me again. Me and him had a huge falling out over a girl. What else, right? So even he called me, tears, telling me how much it meant. That was a few years ago now. Pandemic kind of makes everything blurry, but that was a few years ago. And I tell you, till this day, people still come up to me. Hey, we never met, but I just want to tell you, I cried with you, brother. Thank you. Hey, I showed that video to my father and to my brothers, and it really sparked an important conversation. Things that we have never talked about in our family. Hey, thank you for bringing back your churro rental on time. I just wanted to also take this opportunity to tell you that this literally just happened. I'm car shopping right now, so I had a churro rental. This wasn't a part of the script, obviously, but I had a churro rental, and it also wasn't a part of my day. It wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a part of my day. And he took the opportunity. Because churro rentals, you don't usually see the person. I'm wondering, why is this guy coming to the lockbox? He's a lockbox. He wanted to share that moment had meant so much to him. And I'll tell you this, the reason why I'm saying this is this. Every time someone gives me my flowers, it gives me the strength to continue.